Let me try this again. Okay. All right. Hey guys, how's it going? First of all, I just want to address a very annoying issue right now. For the last week, we have had some work being done on the street right very close to my house. And it's like on the other side of my street is like the main road, and the city is going in and taking down some sick trees. So if you hear a lot of chainsaws, that's what's happening. So I'm really sorry. I can't help the noise. It also came to my attention that someone else had said something about extra noise in the background of my video recently. And again, like around my house, like when I'm filming downstairs, we have all these vents in the floor, and for whatever reason they are so loud. So the furnace has been kicking on and you can like hear it in the background of my videos, so I am sorry. Also, I was just saying in another video that every time I sit down to film, suddenly I'm the most popular person ever, and today is not any different. I literally hit record and my phone is blowing up now because my kids are texting me different things from school. So that's just the way it goes, I guess. Anyways, I'm making this video today. I apologize, first of all. I'm doing a lot of apologizing today, aren't I? This video is going to be kind of scattered, unorganized, and I'm trying my best to kind of bring the ideas together. And so we're just gonna jump into this video, and hopefully you follow along. And hopefully this will be a learning lesson of like how to kind of start being a little bit more organized in the future. So in a recent video, I also talked about a major goal of mine was to kind of declutter my house and declutter my things. And one of those really big tasks is going through my wardrobe and decluttering that, either using it or getting rid of it. And I found a really cool and creative way to do this. Another thing that I feel that I have an abundance of just stuff is my craft supplies. So I'm taking my overconsumption of clothing and my overconsumption of craft supplies, and we're gonna put them together. And we're going to upcycle my clothes and make them a little bit more wearable, a little bit more fun. I have definitely been in kind of a fashion rut, and a lot of that has been because my weight, unfortunately, has kind of fluctuated a lot in the last year or so. And that's really frustrating when you have like really cute... It was Christmas when I was talking about it, and I tried on a dress. And I realized I didn't fit in it anymore, and that was quite depressing. So, working on that, and also I think just like actively having more fun with my wardrobe again will kind of keep me motivated to keep working on that goal of like losing the weight that I wish to lose. I've got like 3 big things kind of melding together for one ultimate end goal, which is kind of great. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and jump into it without too much yammering on and boring you guys to death. But I wanted to do kind of a show and tell of some things that I have recently completed, some things that I'm kind of working on, some things that I started working on but got stuck on. I do have a huge problem with kind of starting a project and then like putting it down and moving on to something else. And I know that this is kind of a problem, especially if I'm going to try to kind of make these really cool videos regarding that. Like you kind of need to like start and finish a project kind of for one video and not have a bunch of half-started videos. Everyone wants to see the end product. So it's kind of a motivation to like stick to something until I finish it. But seeing as how that's kind of a work in progress, I feel like this is kind of a really good intro video to kind of just show you where I'm at with some of these things. Okay, the first thing I'm going to show you, I had this like blank canvas tote sitting around for ages. So what I ended up doing with it is I actually made a stencil from my Cameo I made 2 stencils out of the one stencil. So on one side we have this, and then on the other side we have this. In order to get this like color and pattern and texture, I basically took just little things lying around my house that were basically trash and just made marks with them. Like kindergarten painting, mark making. That was it. And I just had such a fun time doing this. I would love to do this more often, but I like also the idea, because I'm using recycled materials, that using the recycling symbol to kind of paint around. I do feel like it still could use something more, so I'm thinking about going in and maybe adding some more, or maybe adding some patches to the bag, or maybe even doing some embroidery pieces. I did continue the pattern. I did kind of give the straps a little something also. I just did one strap for now because then it was wet and I haven't gone back, pulled out the paints to do the other strap. Now I have a really cool tote. One thing that my husband and I are actually doing is we are trying to, for some of our grocery shopping, we have decided to go ahead and get reusable bags. So I think that I'm going to end up putting this bag in with our stash in my car of other reusable shopping bags so that we don't have to use as much plastic. Another DIY I'm super excited about is a pair of high-waisted shorts. These used to be pants, and then come summer last year, I ended up making them into cutoffs. But once I cut them off, I didn't realize that the backs of, like, the back part of the denim just hung really weird. It was very loose, and I had made them kind of too short to roll them appropriately. And then you'll see here, there's like a hole. And then I left it, and that's because I started to cut it too high, and then I corrected and cut it farther down. So there's like an awkward hole here. The cat likes to chew on my sewing machine. He's a really weird cat. But I absolutely love the fit of these around the waist, and I love the high waist. So it was really sad that they just didn't work to be like cute and wearable shorts for going out anywhere else. I was looking for kind of a solution to lengthen the pant leg and to kind of fix that weird flapping material in the back. And I'll be honest, I don't actually know how they fit yet. I just did it and I threw them in my closet. I haven't really done like a try on to see how they fit. But anyways, I took this really cool fabric and I just made a cuff on the bottom and sewed it in. It's a horrible sewing job, but you know, who's gonna be flipping my pants inside out and looking at them? Nobody. And then I took other scraps of fabric and just kind of tucked them inside the pockets. On this one, you kind of have the coin pocket. So I ended up just accentuating that pocket, and I just cut the square out to fit, and I just used like some fabric glue to glue it down. This one I did try to stitch in, and I don't think it works as well as the glued fabric. But I think I'm going to go ahead and try them on, and we'll see how they fit. Wish me luck. How do these amazing fashion gurus like foam their body? Yay, these actually fit really nice, and I feel like adding the little cuff was a perfect solution to fixing my shorts. Now I can wear them. The next thing I've been working on are these little pins. So I have this little one. Now in order to, so I shrunk them down and I put the pin backs. I have this one from a Studio Ghibli. I have a Totoro. I didn't put the pin back on this one because the colors just do not look right to me. So I'm probably going to redo this one with very light colors. I forget that when you shrink them down, the colors are going to be a lot darker. This was not a shrink plastic. It was just a metal like necklace piece. I've been holding them onto this for years, and it's just like, it's too big and too obnoxious for a necklace, and I think it'd make a much cooler pin to like attach to a bag or something. And then it still has the little holes, so I think it might be interesting to add little things to dangle off of it, maybe. And here is this guy, another character from Studio Ghibli. I think he came out really cool. I have a couple of calcifers. I'm going to be making these into earrings. I did not put a hole in there for hardware, but I did go ahead and use a little bit of E6000 to glue these kind of handmade things on the back. So I might go ahead and add some sort of felt backing to them to kind of finish them off, and then again put some resin on the tops of them. These are my favorite. These are so cute. And I did the exact same thing with these guys. These are going to be earrings as well. A couple of soot sprites. Unfortunately, this one, it kind of got really messed up on melting it down. So I don't know, maybe I'll see if I can take some sandpaper to it and kind of fix it up and whatever. This one bled a little bit, so I think that one's probably just going to be trash. And then you can kind of, instead of trying to pick up each individual one, you can see we have little cats, we have a scythe, we have this, we have these Shadow Hunters marks, and yeah, these again, these pairs, these are all supposed to be earrings. Alright, a couple shirts that are kind of like a work in progress. You might have noticed while watching some of my videos that I really like my flannels. I'm going to show you some pictures of some things that I have been finding that are very inspirational to kind of take my flannels and do something fun with them. So the first one I'm going to show you is what I'm doing with this flannel. I've had this little pin on here for the longest time, and this is one that I also made a long time ago with shrink plastic. So that's kind of something I want to do, is add like more shrink plastic little things to my shirts. I want to do something fun with the collars. The showstopper on this one is the back. As you know, I am a huge fan of Buffy, and this was a t-shirt, and the t-shirt was just, I was always afraid to wear the shirt because I was worried about wearing it out too fast. So I would kind of sparingly wear it, but then it just kind of didn't fit quite right after a while anyways, and the shirt itself was getting kind of old looking, so I just cut the graphic off the top and just did a straight stitch all the way around. The second shirt that I made is, I took this kind of like a light denim shirt, and I just love this shirt. I've had it in my stash for a really long time, and it has these really cool like pearly buttons. What I did with this one is I put this shirt. Now this shirt it was like this very oversized shirt, and then it had like a knot in the front that kind of like cinched it in around the waist, and I did wear it out. It's for the most part just become like around the house, cleaning the house, getting dirty, working outside kind of shirt. It was kind of a shame because I did really like the alien kind of thing. I'm a big, huge sucker for alien stuff. Always have been. One of my old friends from high school even got me this really cool, it's like one of those see-through hologram necklaces with an alien, and I still have it. But that's beside the point. So I love alien stuff. So this was on the back of the shirt, so I put this on the back, and I'm going to see if I can get in there. I actually used one of the embroidery stitch settings that comes with my sewing machine, and I tried it in a few different colors, and I ended up going with the white. I did try with like a bright green color, but it just didn't really pop like I expected it to. The white ended up popping a lot better. And I didn't do it all the way around, so for the most part I just did a straight stitch, and then just along this side and this side I used a really cool stitch, and to me it kind of has like New Mexico vibes, so that's how that came out. I thought about taking this space up here and maybe painting it with maybe like a cool psychedelic kind of pattern, but we'll see. I'm very nervous to paint it. Here is one way to get really cool patches, is to save graphics from your shirt. So this actually was on the front side of the shirt that I cut that graphic off of. So yeah, I'm going to take this and make a cool patch out of this. I'm like trying to decide if I'm going to flip the camera around or not, but I guess this is just as good. These are patches, so basically I took a bunch of graphics and I made vinyls out of them on iron-on fabric. This is definitely a Buffy reference. It says bored now. And I keep trying to decide if I'm happy with the kind of fabric that it's on. I just had this like simple white fabric, but it's not even white, it's like a cream colored fabric that I ended up ironing it on, and then I put 2 layers just to kind of make it thicker, and then stitched those layers around and then cut around the stitches. I think it works pretty good. I think you could even probably put like iron on fusible whatever on the back of them to like make them even more firm. I'm still kind of learning about different ways to use that stuff. Then here's another one, Gerarg. This one, I'm actually going to have to go and fill in the eyes a little bit on this because the graphic kind of got messed up, but I can just easily take a marker and fix that up. This is again from a Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode called Hush. Just a Stay Weird one. This would be really cool to even take with some fabric paint and paint in different colors behind it. This from another all-time favorite Joss Whedon show called Firefly. This is from a book, No Mourners, No Funerals. I think this one's gonna look really cool on the red and black flannel. Then I have this one, Creepin' It Real, Stay Wild, Moonchild. And this fabric is scrap fabric from like another pair of pants that I had just cut the legs off like so long ago, but it's really thick, like canvasy fabric. Stay Creepy. This is also like some black kind of canvas fabric that I have recycled from both of my kids took karate in Florida. I just kept their pants for a long time, but they're never going to be able to wear them again. I just took the patches that they had them stitch on there and just took those off for memorabilia. They have this Beetlejuice one. Be the strange that you wish to see in the world. This vinyl came out really cool. I'm in love with it. Antisocial Social Club. Goonies, Never Say Die. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use this one. This might be cool on like a bag or something. It is just, it's just kind of like one of those adventure graphics. Mama Wolf. Oh, just kidding. I found one more thing that I made, and it is a little clutch purse. So I went to this really fancy, my son is in ROTC, and he went to this military ball. I went with him. I wore this like long velvet skirt. Look, I'm not posting any pictures because after looking at pictures of myself, like I felt pretty good in it, but after looking at pictures of myself, I was kind of like, that wasn't the best choice of outfit. I mean, it still looked all right, and it passed. It looked fine. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the end result, but didn't have like anywhere like to keep my wallet, my keys and stuff like that. So every dinner party needs a little purse thing. So I kind of had some of these things in mind when I was designing it. So I had a bunch of scrap velvet fabric, and it's not the right kind of velvet that matched the skirt, but it was passable. And I followed a tutorial on how to make these little bags, and I thought it was so weird. I've never made a bag of such high quality before because I'm still kind of learning how to sew, and it was so confusing. I didn't know which sides were right because the video I followed had no verbal instructions, so I was just trying to figure out what they were doing, watching each step, and I'd pause it, and then I'd do that step, and then I'd pause it again and do the next step. But I'm so incredibly excited how it came out, and this is the finished bag. So it does kind of cinch up, and I just think it looks really elegant. And I have these little things dangling. This could use like some better hardware pieces that look a little bit more polished. And then I was kind of testing something out. So this, I left it long to be like a shoulder bag, or you could pull these all the way through and let these dangle, and then this could be a wrist thing. But it didn't quite work out like I expected, but that's okay. But the most exciting part is, as I said, it was really difficult to construct because I've never really made a bag that has like a lining, and this lining came out so good. So it has like a silk lining. The drawstring is kind of put in the middle of the fabric. I don't know if you could tell how that looks, so you could see where the stitching is. And I was really proud of my sewing on that as well, except for the pocket where the drawstring goes through. It's not exactly very straight, but that's okay, you can't really tell. And then I thought it would be really cool to do something on the front of the bag, like some beading or like something like that, but didn't really have time. So I just stitched little jewelry pieces into it, and it didn't I think if it had a lot more, it would come out a lot better. Now that I understand how it's constructed, I could try different ones, new ones, all different types. It was actually a very quick project once you got like the hang of it. So that's that. So let's go ahead and get into the next thing that I plan to work on today. I have this really cool shirt. I wore the heck out of it when we lived in Colorado, but it's looking kind of old and kind of dingy. This tank top, it's a very loose fitting tank top. Also, it is an extra large and I should probably be at least a medium. I did have a hard time like pulling up these things because it would dip so low in the front, and there was occasionally some embarrassing moments with this shirt, but I love anything with skulls on them. And then the back is even better. The back has this in it. So the idea with this is I'm basically going to preserve the back and put a new front on it, a front that fits better. And I have two options for this. I might actually go with option number 2 and save this other shirt for something. So I originally had this shirt that I was going to cut it and make it the front, but I might actually end up doing something different with this. Actually, I see this in a new light. I think with this, I actually want to make it into like where you do the crop cap sleeve things, like cut it down the sides and then add, okay, I'm going to save that. So my other option is I have this really cool fabric. It's kind of a sheer, it's sheer see-through. See, and this is where I get stuck. And I second guess what I was thinking. Hold on, let me think this through really quick. I could put a liner under it, maybe see how it looks up against like a white fabric. This is the fabric. It's very see-through, but I love this fabric. It was incredibly cheap in the remnants section, and can you see it? It's skulls. I like that a lot. It is very see-through. So I guess I could just do a mock-up, because if it doesn't work out, then I can always give it a different backer. Could also use it as a backer for another piece. Okay, I'm kind of liking that idea of just, like this isn't a bad shirt either. I just think that I don't necessarily like the sleeves and the neckline on this shirt. Okay, I'm just going to go and I'm going to cut some fabric and we're going to test out some things. I might even go revisit my other closet and see what else I have in there floating around. We'll see what I'm coming up with. Another thing that I'm actually kind of working on is knitting a scarf. And I don't have a whole lot of this yarn. I'm very as many years as I have been knitting, I didn't really grow a lot in learning new skills. So I'm just basically doing a simple rib stitch, extra long scarf. If there's enough room, if there's enough yarn, I'd like to do some like tassels or fringe. Here's some pictures that I'm really inspired about. And I'm not like a huge person on red, but this isn't like a true red. It has like a lot of other cool colors in it. And I did start doing a much chunkier scarf, kind of like these in the picture, that they're like, they're like really wide. But I didn't have enough yarn for it to make it super long, in addition to being wide. So I went with a skinnier scarf, and I couldn't find a picture of it, but I'd seen one where I've seen the really long skinny scarves in other colors. But anyways, it doesn't have to be exact. I don't know why I'm like obsessing over it. But I originally started it a little bit wider, and I did a garter stitch. If you do a garter stitch, it's going to come out wider anyways. But I really didn't like this yarn in the garter stitch because it kind of looked blown out the sides, and then it also, like, I used bigger needles as well, and it just kind of didn't look, it's kind of see-through a little bit too. It was a softer, more flowy fabric, but I don't think that's really what I want. Like this chunky yarn, I think it needs to be like dense and woolly. So I went with a little bit smaller design. All that to explain. I have about 40 minutes left of my audiobook. I'm listening to Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt. For all the noise, the cat is now playing in some rustly paper behind me. So that cat, I swear to God, drives me crazy sometimes. So yeah, as I was saying, I have about 40 minutes left of that audiobook, and then I have some movies that I checked out from the library that I would like to watch. That my library is really cool, and they have a bunch of Studio Ghibli films. This is called The Girl Who Did Something Through Time. I don't know, I haven't heard of this one before. Then I have Tales of Earthsea, and I have Castle in the Sky. I also have parts 2 and 3 of Atlas Shrugged, but I don't even know that I enjoyed the first one that much. I ended up picking it up because I do have the book, and it is a dense book. Okay, I'm taking this shirt to make a pattern for the front out of because I know that this shirt fits me really nice. You know, on sheets, you get like a sheet set and then they have the little bed skirt. The thing down, it has a skirt around, then you put the mattress on top. Well, I recycled one of those and I took this material off of it, and I figured you could like see through it and stuff, so I can draw on it. And I can make patterns out of it. So everything and started cutting out the patterns. It really started coming together. This fabric I ended up changing my mind on completely, this shirt as well, and I found a different shirt in my stack and used this shirt instead, and it worked out the best. It took some finagling because this shirt is actually longer than the front. So I kind of pulled it up a little bit at the top, so the back is going to rise up a little bit higher. And this, of course, the sleeves are square cut, but I'm going to deal with that later. Hey guys, I just wanted to do this last update. So I think where we left off, I was knitting a red scarf, and you can see the texture. I was hoping it would be longer, and it's not that long. I was thinking it was going to be quite a bit longer, but unfortunately it's on the shorter side. But that's okay. I used up a ball of yarn on this project, and it was really nice to it was a really good, easy project to kind of get back into knitting. I'm really glad that I went ahead and used a 1x1 ribbing. If you can tell, it does have like, you know, kind of the stripes going up and down and everything. That's okay. I am still really happy with it. And I have a teeny tiny bit left of yarn, and I don't know how many tassels I can squeeze out of it, but I think at some point I'm going to add some tassels. Now I don't know if I'm going to try to go long or if I'm going to do like little short tassels. Tassels or fringe. I'm not really sure what it's called. But I think that'll help give it a little bit more length as well. I would like to make a scarf that's quite a bit thicker too, so that when I wrap it, I can actually cover my face like that, because we don't get a lot of cold days here, but when it gets like really cold, like this past January, beginning of January, we had some very cold days. Basically, the whole city shut down because it was iced over and we couldn't drive safely and everything. We did have to get out for something, and I just your face freezes. It's so cold, your eyes start watering, and like I hate that so much. So like having definitely like having a face mask when it's like that is nice. So we're gonna go ahead and leave this video off here. Hopefully videos in the future will be a little bit more centered, put together. A little bit more organized. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.